was a highwayman. Along the coach roads I did ride, sword and a pistol by my side. Many a young maid lost her baubles to my trade. Many a soldier shed his lifeblood on my blade. The bastards hung me in the spring of 25, but I am still alive. I was a sailor, I was born upon the tide. With the sea I did abide. I sailed a schooner round the Horn to Mexico. I went aloft to furl the mainsails in a blow. And when the yards broke off, they say that I got killed, but I am living still. I was a dam builder, crossed the river deep and wide, where steel and water did collide, a place called Boulder on the wild Colorado. I slipped and fell into the wet concrete below. They buried me in that great tomb that knows no sound, but I am still around. I'll always be around and around and around. I fly a starship across the universe divide, and when I reach the other side, I'll find a place to rest my spirit if I can. Perhaps I may become a highwayman again, or I may simply be a single drop of rain, but I will remain. I'll be back again and again and again. Won't you come down, won't you come down, won't you come down to Yarmouth town? You try it again, you sing it twice as loud. Won't you come down, won't you come down, won't you come down to Yarmouth town? Oh! In Yarmouth town there lived a man, and he kept a tavern by the strand. The landlord had a daughter fair, a pretty little thing with a golden hair. Oh, won't you come down, won't you come down, won't you come down to Yarmouth town? Won't you come down? Now in this tavern was a sailor man, and he asked the daughter for her hand. Why should I marry you, she said, when I get all I want without being wed? Oh, won't you come down, won't you come down, won't you come down to Yarmouth town now? But if with me you want to linger, I'll tie a piece of string all around my finger, and all you got to do is pull on the string. I'll come down and I'll let you in. Oh, won't you come down, won't you come down, won't you come down to Yarmouth town? Closing time, the sailor man went back to the tavern by the strand. He'd never seen such a sight before. The string on her finger was all she wore. Oh, won't you come down, won't you come down, won't you come down to Yarmouth town? Oh, come down, won't you come down? Sailor played the whole night through, then in the morning went back to the crew. Told them of the daughter fair, the pretty little thing with the golden hair. Oh, won't you come down, won't you come down, won't you come down to Yarmouth town? Oh, news News it soon got all around. In the very next night in Yarmouth town, there was 15 sailors pulling on the string. She came down and she let them all in. No, won't you come down? Won't you come down? Won't you come down to Yarmouth town? Won't you come down? Once more, won't you come down? Won't you come down? Won't you come down to Yarmouth town? Oh, won't you come down? Won't you come down to Yarmouth town? I think it was Bertolt Brecht who said one time, with a man's dying breath, he should be prepared to make a fresh start. I like that. That's what this next song is about, although it's supposedly about a ship that went down in the 60s off the coast of Nova Scotia, a ship called the Mary Ellen Carter. And there's a lovely last verse to it, which is the moral of the whole thing. And it's a verse that I will tell you because, like myself, you may get solace from it on occasions of tragedy or whatever. It says, all you to whom adversity has dealt the final blow, with smiling bastards lying to you everywhere you go. Turn to and put out all your strength of arm and heart and brain, and like the Mary Ellen Carter, rise again. Rise again. Rise again. Though your heart may be broken and your life about to end, no matter what you've lost, be it a home, a love, a friend, like the Mary Ellen Carter, rise again. She went down last October in a pouring driving rain. The skipper, he'd been drinking and the mate, he felt no pain. Too close to 3 Mile Rock when she was dealt her mortal blow, and the Mary Ellen Carter settled low. There was just us 5 aboard her when she finally was awash. We worked like hell to save her, all heedless of the cost. And the groan she gave as she went down, it caused us to proclaim we'd make the Mary Ellen Carter rise again. Now the owners wrote her off, not a nickel would they spend. She gave 20 years of service and met her sorry end. The insurance paid the loss to us, so let her rest below. They laughed at us and said we'd have to go. But we talked of her all winter, some days around the clock. She's worth $250,000 afloat and at the dock. And with every jar that hit the bar, we swore we would remain and make the Mary Ellen Carter rise again. Rise again, oh rise again. Let her name not be lost to the knowledge of men. All those who loved her best and were with her till the end will make the Mary Ellen Carter rise again. All spring now we've been with her, on a barge lent by a friend. 3 dives a day in hard hat suit, and twice I've had the bends. Thank God it's only 60 feet, and the currents here are slow, or I'd never have the strength to go below. Or we patched her rents and stopped her vents, docked hatch and porthole down, put cables to her fore and aft and girded her around. Tomorrow noon we hit the air and then take up the strain and watch the Mary Ellen Carter rise again. Rise again, oh rise again. Let her name not be lost to the knowledge of men. All those who loved her best and were with her till the end will make the Mary Ellen Carter rise again. For we couldn't leave her there, you see, to crumble into scale. She saved our lives so many times, living through the gale. And the laughing drunken rats who left her to her sorry grave, they won't be laughing in another day. All you to whom adversity has dealt the final blow, with smiling bastards lying to you everywhere you go, turn to and put out all your strength of arm and heart and brain, and like the Mary Ellen Carter rise again, oh rise again, rise again, though your heart may be broken and your life about to end. No matter what you've lost, be it a home, a love, a friend, like the Mary and Carter, rise again. When night stirred at sea and the fire brought a crowd in, they say that her beauty was like music in mouth, and few in the candlelight thought her too proud, for the house of the planter is known by the trees, and men who had seen her drank deep and were silent. The women were speaking wherever she went, like a bell that is rung, or a wonder told shyly. And oh, she was the Sunday in every week. Sta clo the bravest of your tiny bind the ladies fein the throne is a ni no sin. Ní le cóirú ó hostal liom hain con áras hay anú nátías ach má sí réráú ma bheith full of sleep and nodding by the fire. Take down this book and slowly read and dream of the soft look your eyes had once and of their shadows deep. How many loved your moments of glad grace, or loved your beauty with love false or true? But one man loved the pilgrim soul in you and loved the sorrows of your changing face. And bending down beside the glowing bars, murmur a little sadly how love fled and paced upon the mountains overhead and hid his face amid a crowd of stars. Oh, the night was clear, the stars were shining, the moon came up, so quiet in the sky. The people gathered round, the bands were tuning, I can hear them now, playing coming through the ride. You were dressed in blue, you looked so lovely, just a gentle flower of a small town girl. You took my hand, we danced to the music with a single smile. You became my world, and we danced all night to the fiddle and the banjo, their drifting tune seemed to fill the air. So long ago, but I still remember when we fell in love at the Roseville Fair. We courted well, and we courted dearly, and we'd sit for hours in the front porch chair. Then a year went by from the time that I met you, and I made you mine at the Roseville Fair. And we danced all night to the fiddle and the banjo, their drifting tune seemed to fill the air. So long ago, but I still remember when we fell in love at the Roseville Fair. So here's a song for all of the lovers. Here's a tune that they can share. May they dance all night to the fiddle and the banjo, the way we did at the Roseville Fair. May they dance all night to the fiddle and the banjo, the Roseville Fair. Seamus Ennis, my old friend, says, a young German student asked him one time if he could give him any tips on playing the Baron. And he said, yes, it's best played with a penknife. My sentiments exactly. We used to hang out a lot at O'Donoghue's pub, Marion Row. And when that got too packed, we'd go over to O'Neill's. One time in O'Neill's, there was no singing allowed in O'Neill's. It was a very, very straight-laced pub, and the man behind the bar wore a dicky bow and a swallowtail coat, very well-trimmed moustache. He looked like an undertaker for all the world. I can't remember his name now, but I remember one of the tinker kids coming in one day, opening the door and looking up at him. And he was white as a sheet, you know, and he says to him, "Hey, mister, how much would you charge for haunting the house?" But I was overwhelmed to go in there one day and find, sitting in the corner, Patrick Kavanagh, been a hero of mine from the time I was a teenager, when I was working in an insurance office down in Dawson Street. He had only a slim volume of verse that time. But I asked somebody, I can't remember if it was Seamus or somebody else, to be introduced to the great poet Patrick Kavanagh. And to this day, I can say that Patrick Kavanagh is a friend of mine. Because he looked up at me and he went, "Ah." And I always take that as a great sign of friendship, a tremendous sign of friendship. He had come down from the stony fields of Monaghan down to Dublin, first of all to try and become a priest. I could never really take that seriously. Then he tried to become a civil servant. It's even worse. Failing that, he tried to get any kind of a job at all that had a pension to it, because the Christian Brothers always told us in those days, get a job with a pension. And I always had this strange vision when I heard that, get a job with a pension, of this long straight road with huge big high walls on either side stretching way off into the distance, and down at the end a pension, and just beyond the pension death. And I thought, my God, are those the parameters that we have to live within, you know? What was a frightening prospect. But Kavanagh, failing at everything else, of course, became a poet. And he always thought of himself in terms of farm animals. And he wrote this marvelous poem called Pegasus. Pegasus, of course, was the flying horse of Greek mythology. And Kavanagh said, "My soul was an old horse, offered for sale at 20 fairs. I offered him to the church. The buyers were little men who feared his unusual airs. There was one said, let him remain on bid in the wind and rain and hunger of sin. And we'll get him. We'll get him with the winkers thrown in for nothing." And then the men of state came to see what I'd brought for sale. There was one minister wondering if another horse body would fit the tail that he'd kept for sentiment, the relic of his own soul, who said, "I'll graze him in lieu of his labor." So I lent him for a week or more. He came back, a hurdle of bones, starved, overworked, in despair. I nursed him on the roadside grass to shape him for another fare. I lowered my price. I stood him where the broken-winded spavins stand.
And crooked shopkeepers said, well, he might do a season on the land. He's not for high-paid work in towns. He'd do a tinker, possibly. I begged. Who'll make me an offer now? A soul is a poor man's tragedy. He'll draw your dungiest cart, show you shortcuts to mass, teach weather lore, at night collect bad debts from poor men's grass. But I would not. So where the tinkers quarreled, I went down with my horse, my soul. I cried, who'll bid me half a crown? From their rowdy bargaining, not one turned. Soul, I prayed, I have hawked you through the world of church and state and meanest trade. But this evening, halter off. Never again will it go on. On the south side of ditches there is grazing in the sun, no more haggling with the world. And as I said these words, he grew wings upon his back, and now I may ride him every land that my imagination knew. I'm a free-born man of the traveling people. Got no fixed abode with nomads, I have one. Country lanes and byways were always my ways. I never fancied being numb. Oh, we knew the woods and the resting places, and the small birds sang when winter days were old. Then we pack our load and be on the road. Those were good old days for a road. There was open ground where a man could linger for a week or two, for time was not our master. Then away you jog with your horse and dog, nice and easy, no need to go faster. I've known life hard and I've known it easy, and I've cursed the life when winter days were dawning, but I've laughed and sung through the whole night long, seen the summer sunrise in the morning. All you free-born men of the traveling people, every tinker, rolling stone and gypsy road, winds of change are blowing, old ways are going, your traveling days will soon be over. Inch by inch, row by row, going to make this garden grow. it takes is a rake and a hoe and a piece of fertile ground. And inch by inch, row by row, someone bless these seeds I sow. Someone warm them from below till the rain comes tumbling down. Sing. And inch by inch, row by row, going to make this garden. All it takes is a rake and a hoe and a piece of fertile ground. Fertile. And inch by inch, row by row, someone bless these seeds I sow. Someone warm them till the rain comes tumbling down. Pulling weeds and picking stones, man is made of dreams and bones. Feel the need to grow my own, 'cause the time is close at hand. Grain for grain and sun and rain, find my way in nature's chain. Tune my body and my brain to the music from the land. And inch by inch, row by row, going to make this garden grow. All it takes is a rake and a hoe and a piece of fertile ground. And inch by inch, row by row, someone bless these seeds I sow. Someone warm them from below till the rain comes tumbling down. Plant your rows straight and long, temper them with prayer and song. Mother Earth will make you strong if you give her love and care. An old crow watching hungrily from his perch in yonder tree. In my garden I'm as free as that feathered leaf up there. And inch by inch, row by row, going to make this garden. All it takes is a rake and a hoe and a piece of fertile ground. Can't hear you. Inch by once like you mean it. And inch by inch, row by row, going to make this garden grow. All it takes is a rake and a hoe and a piece of fertile ground. And inch by inch, row by row, someone bless the seeds I sow. Someone warm them from below till the rain comes tumbling down. Till the rain comes tumbling down. Lovely, lovely. You done real good. New song that you haven't heard before, a song written by Paul here and a young man, a young solicitor from Waterford named Paul Foskin. It's called Children After Rain. When the rain comes tumbling down, I thought it fit in nicely with this one. Children are always the first people after a rainstorm to come out, and we used to get little matchboxes and put a sail on them, a match stuck in the little... Did you ever do that? Sail it down the gutters? After the reign of napalm in Vietnam, children were the first ones out of what was left of the houses. In Belfast, after a rain of bombing or plastic bullets, children are the first one out of the houses. Children after rain. Watch the film, but I can't see beyond the child refugee who never made the news at all. As the uniforms parade, she takes her hand down from her face to see the mighty men of war. At 12 years old, she goes to school in faded jeans and faded youth, and memories she can't forget. Her father's dead, her brother blames the UVF, the IRA, or some such piece of alphabet. They're only children after rain, a single face, 1,000 names, the war we won, the love we lost. They're only children after rain, a photograph without a frame, a crucifixion with no cross. The frightened eyes of a lonely child with no lullabies and no nursery rhymes, just another tear to fall across another face. We plant the seed, and the seed will grow. We come to reap what we came to sow. And then we wonder at it all. Will it ever change? Now she laughs, now she cries. She takes it in and she takes her time. And I can see tomorrow in her eyes. Watch the show most every day, but as I turn to walk away, I always feel I missed the end. I stay behind, the crowd is gone. I read the cast, the lights come on. Or was it really just pretend? They're only children after rain, a single face, 1,000 names, the war we won, the love we lost. They're only children after rain, a photograph without a frame, a crucifixion with no cross. They're only children after rain. Oh my God, it's 10:30. We better close up before the bar is closed. Tell you what, sing this one with me. I told you to begin with, that I was going to sing songs that were made by friends. This song was made by a friend named Gene Raskin. We used to drink together back in Greenwich Village years and years ago. Gene Raskin went through very, very hard times in his life. He had a lot of tragedy. And he pulled himself out of it and got himself back in the business and got himself quite a wealthy man out of this particular song. And I like to think he made it or was inspired by it in our days, drinking at a pub called the White Horse Tavern down in Greenwich Village. It says, "Those were the days, my friends, those were the days." Oh, once upon a time there was a tavern where we used to raise a glass or two.
Remember how we laughed away the hours and dreamed of all the great things we would do. Those were the days, my friend, we thought they'd never end. We'd sing and dance forever and a day. We'd live the life we'd choose, we'd fight and never lose, for we were young and sure to have our way. Lie, 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 la, lie, la, 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 lie, la, lie, la, 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 lie, la, lie, lie, la, 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 lie, la, lie, la, 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 lie, la, lie, la, 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 lie, lie, la, la, lie, lie. And then the busy years went rushing by. We lost our starry notions on the way. And if by chance we'd meet outside the tavern, we'd smile at one another and we'd say, those were the days, my friend, we thought they'd never end. We'd sing and dance forever and a day. The life we choose, we'd fight and never lose, for we were young and sure to have our way. Lie, 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 la, lie, la, 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 lie, la, lie, la, 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 lie, la, lie, lie, la, 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 lie, la, 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 lie, la, lie, la, 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 lie, la, lie, la, lie, la, lie. And just tonight I stood outside the tavern. Nothing seemed the way it used to be. And in the glass I saw a strange reflection. Was that lonely fellow really me? Those were the days, my friend, we thought they'd never end. We'd sing and dance forever and a day. We'd live the life we choose, we'd fight and never lose, for we were young and sure to have our way. Lie, 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 la, lie, la, 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 lie, la, lie, lie, la, 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 lie, la, 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 lie, la, lie, la, 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 lie, 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 la, lie, la, lie. And through the door I heard familiar laughter. I saw your face and heard you call my name. Oh, my friend, we're older but no wiser. For in our hearts the dreams are still the same. Those were the days, my friend, we thought they'd never end. We'd sing and dance forever and a day. We'd live the life we choose, we'd fight and never lose, for we were young and sure to have our way. Lie, 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 la, lie, la, 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 lie, la, lie, la, 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 lie, la, lie, la, lie, 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 la, 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 lie, lie, la, la, lie, lie, la, 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 lie, la, lie, la, lie, 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 lie,
Our revels now are ended. These our actors, as I foretold you, were all spirits and are melted into air, into thin air. And like the baseless fabric of this vision, the cloud-capped palaces, the gorgeous towers, the solemn temples, the great globe itself, yea, all which they inherit shall dissolve, and like this insubstantial pageant, faded, leave not a rack behind. We are such stuff as dreams are made on, and our little life is rounded with a sleep. What I'm asking you in Shakespeare's words is, have you no homes to go to? We're going to leave you and love you. Thanks for coming. We're going to leave you with a little song called The Journey's End. The fire is out, the moon is down, the parting glass is dry and done, and I must go and leave this town before the rising of the sun. And long's the road and far's the mile before I rest my soul again with girls that weep and girls that smile, and all the words and ways of men. For some there are that may not bide, but wander to the journey's end, nor take a girl to be a bride, nor keep a man to be a friend. And when I'm done with wandering, I will sit beside the road and weep for all the songs I did not sing, and promises I did not keep. Good night. God bless. Safe home. Thanks for coming. Again, thank you, Paul. Thank you, Martin. Thank you, Geraldine.